What is up, my friends? I hope that you are all well, and thank you for joining me this evening because we have again a lot to get through. I know it's an international break. I know as I'm going live here that some of you guys will be watching the England game at present, but hopefully I can give you guys something different to tune into. So yeah, hope we're all good. And as I start this, I think England are 1-0 down after a penalty against North Macedonia. So loads for us to discuss on all fronts. We will, of course, be talking about the title of tonight's stream and that possible contract extension for Jurgen. Yeah, I hope we're good. Nice to see you in. Darwizzy Lover, how are you? JC, how are you, my man? Hope you're all well. Appreciate you coming in tonight. And tomorrow, just a heads up nice and early, I won't be live tomorrow. I've got some medical stuff I need to get taken care of, so won't be live on tomorrow's show. But yeah, other than that, have at it, my friends. Let's get stuck into it. Just back from vacation and tuning in after a week. Pranav, very well deserved vacation, I'm sure, my friend. I hope that wherever you were, that it was enjoyable. Hello, brothers. I love that, John. Yes, John. Straight in with the love. We love it. Well in. Welcome, brother. Welcome in. Florida's in the house with Noel. Noel, I'm very jealous. I wish I had some of that Floridian weather at the minute, my friend. It's quite chilly, and of course, the heating's not working in my house at the moment, so it is chilly. He says sitting here in a t-shirt, but that's my dedication to you guys. If the nipples start poking through, you know it's cold. Colin, big super chat. First super chat of the day. Colin's always in with it. He said, hello, you big sexy bastard. I'll take it. Hope you've had a good weekend. Watching Trent play for England, he looks so comfortable and gets the best qualities out of him. I'm not watching the England game. I'm not really a fan of the old internationals, as I'm sure you're aware. But my only focus on these is to make sure that none of our toys come back broken, Colin. So I hope that everybody gets through these international minutes. Obviously, we've got the boys playing late tomorrow night in South America. We'll be keeping an eye on that situation as well. So, we will talk through the Jurgen Klopp stuff. You know me at this point. I'm going to give it 10 or 15 minutes, wait for people to come in the chat to get to the peak. And then we'll go through and go through everything in its detail. Pranav, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC. Not only is our friend Pranav back from his vacation, he's straight in there renewing his membership. We love that, mate. Internationals are so bad. They're horrible. I hate them. But I've got to say, from a content perspective, this has been one of the better international breaks for me. You know, usually we struggle to come up with any topics to get us through the international breaks, but with the Everton points deduction, with these kind of things, there's been a lot to keep us occupied. Very much enjoyed my stream earlier on today with Adam as well over on Top of the League. I hope you guys got a chance to watch that. We were talking about the injury crisis that's across Europe at the minute. Lots and lots of players with some serious injuries. We looked at the Premier League, we asked what's causing it, and it was an enjoyable stream. I have to say, the more streams I do with Adam, the more we're getting into a rhythm and the more comfortable I feel. So again, want to thank you guys for your support over on Top of the League. We're heading towards 21k already. Mark, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. Did you see Dom's goal the other day? You know what? I haven't, and I've been told it's a screamer. And because I'm not on social media, you know, because I'm not on Twitter and stuff, I don't usually see the little video clips floating around. What I tend to do, and I'll be honest, I wait for my Discord group to show me these little clips and highlights. But no, I haven't seen it. I heard it was a worldie though. Did you know Adam previously? No. I think I mentioned this in a recent stream. I'd never spoken to Adam. Never even interacted with him on social media. The first conversation I ever had with Adam is when he reached out after when he was leaving the United stand, and he reached out and said to me, you know, I like what you guys are doing on Top of the League. I think I could help. I think it would be a good fit. I spoke with Adam. Ben knew him, obviously. Ben knew him from the time, but they hadn't spoke about this. It was the first contact we had when Adam came to me. So no. And do you know what? I feel the same. And I've said it to Adam as well. It's so easy. It just comes natural. Yeah, I very much enjoy working with him. He's a really nice guy. Very much knows his football. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with Top of the League. PC Drat, how are you, sir? He said, hope you're well, my lord. Oh, it's been a while since I've been called Lord, mate. I like that one. I am still a fine Lord of Sealand, absolutely. But yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. What do you think the score will be against City, said Jacob? I mean, I'm going an optimistic 1-1, but if I'm being really honest, I feel we lose by a goal. I'm never confident going to the Etihad. I've got to be honest with you, mate. And a record there in the league in the last 3-4 years ain't great. Look, we're capable of getting something from the game, but I'm going into it feeling pessimistic and hoping that I'll leave with something to be optimistic about. So, as I keep saying all week, if you offered me a point, I'd bite your hand off for it right now. 2-1 Liverpool, but I'll take a 1-1, said Darwizzy Lover. Don't say that, Craig. I'm being honest. So I could come on and claim that I'm confident and all, but I don't feel that confident going into this game for a whole host of reasons. One, it's a difficult away game the Etihad. Two, our boys coming back late from South America. And I'm not trying to make excuses, by the way. I'm not looking for an excuse. I'm giving you my honest reasoning. I don't think we'll get to see the best of Darwin or McAllister in that game because of the international. So if the game had come, let's say, 2 weeks down the line, Sunday 4:30, I probably feel like a point is more probable than not. But with everything that's in this one, I just don't really have it. I'm hoping to be proved wrong. I'm hoping to get a pleasant surprise. Maybe we start quickly, get a goal up or something like that. But I'm also intrigued to see how many of these injured Manchester City players are actually injured by the game, because I'm thinking it won't be many. Klopp should stay for life. Yes, I'm with you on that one, mate. 100%. So look, will we get into it? I said I'll wait about 10 minutes. I think we're at that point almost now. We're over 7 minutes into the stream. We should grab a couple of trophies while we're there. While we're where? At the Etihad. Oh yeah, sure. You never know, mate. They might need a couple of removal trucks to take out them trophies in a few years' time when that investigation comes to its conclusion. Is the Klopp thing through? I'm going to try and say that again without thinking, because sometimes I say things and say. Is the Klopp thing true? There you go. I managed to get it out. And the truth is, I don't know. I can tell you where it's come from. I can give you the information. But as I sit here now, I cannot say to you that I know wholeheartedly that it is true or that it isn't true. But Empire of the Cop, they put a post out and they tagged at Steve9KS1TV via transfers.com. They say Liverpool planning to offer Jurgen Klopp a 4th contract extension. It also says club is hoping to get Virgil van Dijk to commit to a new deal. So let me say this. If that's the case, and I hope it is, yes please. I mean, I'd be over the moon if Jurgen was given a new deal. Absolutely. That'd be the best news we could have ever gotten. And I'm not joking. Look back to when he got the last contract extension. To me, that was amazing. And I celebrated that as if we just signed a new superstar player. And I would feel the very same way if it's true this time. So, whilst I'll be honest, and I'll say to you, I don't know, because I don't know that person. I don't know their information. I don't know how they came across it. What I will say to you is this. What I will say with absolute certainty is that if Liverpool have any indication from Jurgen and Jurgen's family and of course Jurgen's team that they would like to extend and would like to stay, I know without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm sure every other content creator or journalist would back this up, Liverpool would get that contract in front of Jurgen immediately and it will be signed. It is all down to Jurgen, and it was down to the club respecting Jurgen's wishes. So that's what this is always about. If Jurgen shows an indication, FSG will put a new contract down and it will be signed and it will be done quickly. But the club are very mindful to be respectful to Jurgen Klopp and don't want to be pushy. So the last time, you know the story, he sat down with his good lady wife. They had a conversation. His wife said to him that, you know, she loves it here. How could they leave? And once Jurgen knew the family was comfortable, he was happy to proceed, got a new contract, and we all celebrated it. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that this is the case, because I don't know a Liverpool fan who wouldn't be happy with Jurgen Klopp getting a contract extension. I'd be over the moon. That would be just a brilliant, brilliant bit of news. So I hope very much so that Empire of the Cop and Transfers.com are right on this one, because it would it'd be incredible to tie Jurgen down. You know, proper dynasty shit there, because we're seeing the evolution now. We're seeing Jurgen Klopp's second team be built. And it would be great if Jurgen committed to see that through for a 4 or 5 year period. So I'm hoping, but, you know, I take it. I wouldn't put my hopes on it just yet, but, you know, it's better than us getting a report that says Jurgen Klopp's going to leave, right? It's definitely, whichever way you look at it, whether it turns out to be true or not, it's certainly a potentially positive development. That's the way I'm looking at it. Craig Klopp must sign a new deal. Again, you know, I think you could ask Paul Joyce, James Pearce, David Ornstein, anybody from the Echo. I think you could ask all of them and say, if Jurgen Klopp turned around tomorrow and said to the owners he'd like to extend, would they give him a new deal? And they would all say to you very quickly that the club are always willing to extend Jurgen, but they're respectful of Jurgen's situation, because, you know, Klopp said he wanted a break after another 2 year period. Obviously, he's mindful of, you know, what happened with his father and the toll that, and by that I mean his father passing away and stuff. He's just mindful. He's getting to that stage in life where you think about the big picture, you think about how much longer you can commit to these things. All very understandable. So if Jurgen shows a desire, look, we can talk back and forth about FSG. I'll knock them, you'll knock them, we'll praise them on some stuff. But on this, there would be no doubts. They won't find a better manager. They know that. It's why they worked so hard to bring Jurgen in. And if that's true, give the man a new deal and we'll all celebrate it. Haaland scared of being pocketed by Gomez again. Yeah, look, Rubber Ducky Man doesn't scare me all that much. He's part of that City team, you know. If you said to me you could pull one player out of the City team this year, it would have been De Bruyne to have missing. So he's defo going to be missing. So with that, I'm hoping the guys feel like they can go to the Etihad and put in a good performance and get a result, because it would make a huge statement if Liverpool could leave there with 3 points. Do you know what? I think we have our first poll of the night. Would you like Klopp to get a new deal? Oh my God, my typing's getting a bit quicker, lads. It's getting a bit quicker. So, first poll of the night. Would you like Jurgen Klopp to be given a new deal at Anfield? And look, if any of you hit the fucking no button, so help me God, I will track you down. I have a particular set of skills. I have heard that somewhere before. Do I like food? Look at me. You're asking this, does he like food? Come on now. Do I look like a man who says no to food? I love my grub, mate. I love it. This will be the easiest poll in Anfield Agenda history, said Daniel Mullen. Dan, I hope you don't mind me calling you Dan, by the way. I think you could be right, fella. The only ones going to vote no on this are non-Liverpool fans who are hoping that Klopp doesn't stay on. That's the way I look at it anyway. Skills you've acquired over a long career. Yes. Do you know what? I haven't even seen Taken. Obviously, I know the famous line, but I haven't seen the film. Which one would you pick, Mbappe to sign or a Klopp extension? I can promise you this. You can say any name in the world to me. Mbappe, Haaland, Messi, Ronaldo, don't care. The answer is Klopp. Klopp's the most important thing for me at Liverpool Football Club right now. He's more important than Mo, Alisson, Trent, any of them. The manager, the manager, the manager. Because he's the one that has brought Liverpool back. He's the one with the infectious personality. He's the leader. He's the figurehead. And I hold Klopp in almost godlike worship. Truly. I'll criticise him because I think I have to, because we want to try keep your opinions honest and, call out stuff. But make no mistake, we have the best manager in the world in my eyes, and there's nobody else I would want at Liverpool Football Club. Nobody. So yeah, if we can get another few years of Jurgen, bring it on. Look, I think I've said this to you guys before. You know me, not much phases me with regards to content or speaking up. There's only been one time since I've started doing this job or been in this industry that I've been lost for words and that I've bottled it. And that was at a press conference at the Aviva Stadium when I was sitting front row and I had the opportunity to ask Jurgen Klopp a question. I had to get my teammate who was working alongside me to ask it because I was a blithering idiot. I was looking up going, that's Jurgen. He's there. He's in front. The man has an aura. Look, I very much love Jurgen Klopp. And just to prove that I'm not an absolute bottler, Mourinho, next night, same stadium, pre-season tour, he came with United, sat there, I asked him a question, no problem. But when Klopp came in, honestly, I was like such a fanboy at that moment. It was, he just has this it factor, doesn't he? He's one of them people that, when he walks into a room, everybody just stops and goes, Jurgen's here. And it was the same in real life, honestly. Man crush, 100%. Definitely. He's one of those figures. He is. He's just one of those. I wanted a fucking hug. Let's be honest, I wanted a hug. Yeah, so look, of all the things you see me moan about on this channel, and I will moan about Klopp's team selection, you'll have never heard the phrase, get rid of the manager, out of my mouth. Nah, won't happen. He eats his broccoli. On that, so, you think you've got me, right? Guess what I got today? Guess what I got sent? Athletic Greens sent me a care package today. I don't know how or why it got here, but I think my manager sorted it out. So Athletic Greens sent me a care package, and what was in the care package? It was only 60 days worth of green supplement, from all your vital nutritional supplements, and my water bottle and all this stuff. So I'm going to give it a try. Because I've always been lacking my whole life. I've never eaten my greens or my vegetables, and I'm going to give it a bash. I'm going to see what this is about. So there you go. I will be having some green. Thank you very much. Although, look, I have green every day, but not that type of green. But I'm not even joking. They genuinely sent me a care package today. Just so you know, I'm not blagging. One sec. See? There you go. They sent me a lovely care package today. So, yeah, shout out to the boys and girls at Athletic Greens, or AG1. Thank you very much for my very kind care package. So, yeah, your boy's going to be ingesting his greens soon. Right, look, let's get stuck into the football news, my friends. A bit of a strange one, right? So I'm going to be the bearer of somewhat bad news now. So I've teased you. I've brought you in with the Jurgen. I've given you the potential good news. Now I'm about to piss all over your cornflakes. Unfortunately, it's being reported that somebody's about to sign Mr. Andre, but it ain't Liverpool. So according to Jorge Nicola, Fulham are close to signing Andre from Fluminense. The report goes on to say that this could be done in the coming weeks. So I guess we'll find out very soon if Liverpool still have an interest in Andre or not. This gentleman, I believe, is... I'm just trying to look at what. He's followed by the likes of Fabrizio Romano, Bruno Andrade, and some other journalists. So he obviously knows his onions. Yeah, and he's saying that Andre's off to Fulham. So, strange one this, because for Fulham to be getting this deal over the line, obviously the likes of Liverpool or Arsenal or whoever else have been linked with them haven't yet followed through with that interest. Now, the numbers mentioned are about 30 million quid. Obviously, we also know that Fulham will have money at hand because they're going to sell João Palhinha. He's most likely going to complete that move to Bayern Munich that fell apart in the summer at the very end of the window. So, as I said, it isn't fully done till it's done, but if you take into account this report that Fulham are close to getting that signing done, you take into account what the likes of the Echo and I think the Athletic and some others have said about Liverpool doing no business in January, let alone this particular dude, it makes me worried. It makes me worried for a couple of reasons. Do I believe that Liverpool have a plan? Yes. Do I think that Liverpool really believes Stefan Bajcetic is going to be the solution? No, but he'll be part of the solution. It just feels again, and I don't want to be negative because there's a lot of positive stuff to talk about, but it does feel like we're rolling the dice. And I don't know why. Because we have an opportunity to sign somebody. If it's not Andre, somebody in the January window. And if we don't take that opportunity, it just feels silly to me. It feels like we're just taking an unnecessary risk. I don't know any better way to put it than that. You know, if I was to ask you guys in the chat right now, or any Liverpool fan, what are Liverpool missing to mount a real challenge? You're going to say to me, fullbacks, maybe a centre-back, but the first words out of your mouth are going to be defensive midfielder, a number 6. And you're right, because it's glaringly obvious. And we've had glaringly obvious deficiencies before. Centre-backs, midfielders, and we haven't fully looked to solve those problems. We have looked to bring in the likes of an Arthur Melo on loan, which didn't work. We've brought in Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies, which didn't work. So, wait and see. Wait and see. Come to Amsterdam, we got enough green here. I haven't been to Amsterdam since I was about 14, mate. Diaz for Frankie confirmed then. Well, it did make me think, Isti. It did make me think. So, Mr. H. Malum said Stefan is the solution. He can form part of the solution. I'm not in any way trying to sit here and say Stefan Bajcetic won't be good enough. I'm fully in on Stefan. But what we don't know is, are we going to have a recurring injury situation with Stefan for a few years while he grows into his adult body? It's not unusual, and we've seen it. We've seen that he has an issue now with one calf, and I think he had previously an issue with another, if I'm not mistaken. So the only doubts I would have about Stefan Bajcetic isn't about his quality, it's about the availability. And also the amount of minutes and pressure on somebody that young in what is a position that, let's be honest, normally it's reserved for somebody a little bit more, I don't say mature, but, you know, a holding midfield is not a position you instinctively think of as being one occupied by young players. Yes, you've had the likes of Caicedo come through and Lavia, but all in all, you're thinking about your Busquets, your Casemiros, you think more senior, Fabinho's, more kind of senior players. And on that Frenkie de Jong thing, I've no idea. And that's the honest truth, mate. I've got no idea if there's any truth to Frenkie de Jong and Liverpool. I've no idea. Nor do I have any idea or any indication to say that Diaz is actively looking for a way out. Now, I do want to just take a second really quickly to pass on all of our love and condolences and best wishes, obviously, to the Firmino family. Bobby Firmino's father sadly passed away of a heart attack while on a family trip to Dubai. I believe he was just about to move to Saudi Arabia to settle into their new life with his wife and the Firmino family. So to hear of Bobby's father's passing is very sad, and we send all of our condolences, of course, and our love and our best wishes to Bobby and his family. You know, I lost my own father. Some of you guys will have lost a parent. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter how... It hurts. It hurts, and it takes a long time to get over. So, of course, our best wishes with the Firmino family. Do you think we should sell Thiago? Well, we're running out of time to sell him because he's only contracted to the end of the season. So, at this point, it seems to be one or two things. You either let him leave in January if an offer comes in for him that, you know, is workable, or you just let him run down his deal and leave at the end of the season. So it won't be something we benefit from financially. Do I see him playing a part in the season? Again, I feel like maybe Jurgen does. Maybe Jurgen looks at this situation and thinks, right, I've got Thiago who's out injured and I've got Bajcetic who's out injured. If I get one or both of these guys back, let's say around December, January, maybe Jurgen thinks that will get us through to the summer. But for me, again, I've got to be honest and say that's pinning your hopes on uncertainty, because we've nothing to indicate that we're going to see those two lads be fit and maintain fitness till the end of the season. So again, it just feels like an unnecessary risk for the sake of 30 million quid here for Andre. I don't get it. I don't get the risk. I don't get why we're taking the risk. Thoughts on Gavi's ACL? Incredibly sad. You know, what is he, 19 years of age, Gavi? He's gonna, I think it's a meniscus ACL, if I'm not mistaken, about 7 months recovery. So you won't see Gavi back till the start of next season. Maybe the Euros. I don't know if they get him back in time for the Euros. I'd say it'll be close. But yeah, look, you got to ask why these things are happening. Is it the workload on players? Is it the stop-start nature of football nowadays with VAR in it? But whatever the answer is, I think it all comes back to the same thing we've been talking about. Who's looking out for the players? Who's looking out for football? Are we getting the best product? I think we're being too demanding on footballers. And look, I'm not a sports scientist nor a doctor, so that might surprise some of you that I'm not a doctor. But we're seeing lots and lots and lots of injuries and increased levels of it, and it's only going to happen with more and more football being played. These guys need a break. They need to recuperate. Their bodies need to have a chance to heal, and we don't give them that with the hustle and bustle nature of top level football. So I've got something I'm saving up my sleeve for about 9:15, so remind me, because this is a story that you guys are going to like. Trust me on this one. So remind me in about 20 minutes to come back to this story, because I know there's a lot of people watching the England game now, and we'll usually get them back in when the game's over, but this is a story I think will make you very happy. Do you agree with me as much as I love Klopp? If I was him, I wouldn't want to extend FSG to extend the FSG out. If I was Jurgen Klopp, I couldn't think of anywhere better to be, and I mean that. So wherever Klopp goes, if Klopp gave up management, fair enough. If that's the end of Jurgen Klopp in football, if he feels he wants to spend it with his wife and family, no issues. But if he wants to move on to something else, or not if he wants to, but if he does, you're going to have a period where you're going to have to rebuild again. And at Liverpool, he started that process of the rebuild. So I feel like it makes more sense to see that out here and continue to push the club in the right direction than to go elsewhere. And the German national team job, he's passed on that over the summer. They've got a manager in there and Nagelsmann for the time being. I just look, as I said, I don't know if that report is true or not, but I certainly hope it is. Hopefully it's about City getting relegated. Unfortunately, Lauren, I can't give you that news. But you know what, mate? As I said earlier on when we were on the stream with Adam, for it to take up to 6.5 years before we get a resolution in the Manchester City case, pathetic doesn't do it justice to say that. Like, it's just not good enough, is it, for anyone? And I daren't even think of the amount of lawsuits and litigation that might happen if they are found guilty. Is there any truth in Liverpool wanting Gray from Leeds? Yes, there is, John. So I did look into this youngster, this guy from Leeds, because when I seen the headline, Liverpool linked with £40 million 17-year-old, I thought to myself, you what now? But I looked into it, and to say, when you hear journalists throw around generational talent for this kid, it doesn't feel like it's an accident. It doesn't feel like it's hyperbole. It doesn't feel like they're making a mountain out of a molehill. From my research, and I'm late to the party on him, this kid looks legit. Like Bellingham levels of legit. He's been through the lead system. I think he started appearing in the first team about 15. And it feels like nothing in football is a guarantee. But it looks like it's a justified price. So, are Liverpool interested in him? Yes. But I would say every single club in Europe is interested in him. And from that point, I don't know. We have been linked with a £40 million summer move. I hope there's some truth to that. But I think it'll be a battle for a signature, the way things are looking. But yeah, it looks like a very, very good young player. Love from Sweden. How are you, my friend? Lovely to have you in. Thank you so much, Ave. Or Avi. I'm sure. Hope I didn't mispronounce that. The chat has gone slow. Make chat go faster. No. I have the chat on slow mode for a reason. So I can pick comments and read them. I don't like when I look at a chat and it just zooms up the page. It gets lost. Trolls get lost. We don't spot the people we want to boot out. No, I like my chat this way. It means we can all have a proper chat. What position does he play? Midfield, Mike. He's a midfielder. Looks like Max Irbel is close to getting approved internally at Bayern. It always looked likely, didn't it, Julian, that was his preference to go to Bayern Munich from leaving Leipzig. And I never liked the stories that were saying, if it doesn't work out at Bayern, he'll come to Liverpool. I mean, fuck you. For all due respect. None of us want anyone that doesn't want to be at Liverpool. That includes coaches, sporting directors, anyone. If you don't hear the name Liverpool Football Club's interested and want to swim across the water to the UK, well then, best of luck. Off you pop elsewhere. So, yeah, look, I always thought he'd end up at Bayern, but I was never that fussed once I heard that we were on his, if I don't get the job I actually want, then I'll come across to you guys. That never sold me on him. In my opinion, I don't think anything will happen with City at all. That's what a lot of people seem to believe. I'm a bit of an optimist and an idealist. I have to believe that if something's wrong, it will be called out as wrong. And no part of me, not even 1%, zero, thinks that City have played by the rules all the way through. I'll never believe that. Even if they're found innocent, I'm telling you now, I won't believe it. I won't. So, to say, for me, this is going to be a defining period in football. Because if the Premier League don't transparently show this investigation up, be it one way or the other, it will just lead to more questions, more uncertainty. This has to be clear cut. It has to be open and transparent. And so far, it hasn't been. And I think that's what frustrates a lot of us. So, Everton, as an example, opened up the books, showed them to the Premier League, and they came. It feels like Manchester City at every opportunity are fighting back. And they say they have irrefutable evidence. That's their words, not mine. Manchester City said they've irrefutable evidence to prove that they've done nothing wrong. But here's what I don't get. Show the fucking world. If you accuse me of stealing something, if you accuse me of breaking into a warehouse and stealing a pallet load of computers, and I had absolute guaranteed irrefutable evidence that I did not do it, would I sit here and allow the world to tell me that I did it? Would I sit here and have fingers pointed at me and have my reputation destroyed? Would I put up roadblocks at every venture and every juncture of the investigation to make it more difficult? No, I'd show you and go, fuck you, I'm innocent, here's your proof. So, you've got the irrefutable evidence, why is nobody seeing it? If it's so irrefutable, if it's so obvious, show it. Show the world you've done nothing wrong. So, do you know what this reminds me of? Lance Armstrong. This whole City thing just reminds me of that Lance Armstrong situation of, I've done nothing wrong, you're all wrong, I'm a clean athlete, I've done nothing wrong, gets loads of journalists on side, done nothing wrong, how dare you, right up until the day where you went, you know what, I've been living a lie, I'm a cheat. That's what this reminds me of. So let's just wait and see. Do you think Real Madrid wants Trent because they're getting ready for Xavi Alonso next year? So firstly, I don't know. There's been some talk today on a potential extension for Ancelotti, which is weird. I thought he was taking the Brazil job, but that was reported in Spain today. Do I think he wants Trent because of Xavi? No, they want Trent because Trent's an attacking fullback. You know, look at Real Madrid's history of fullbacks. They like a marauding attacking fullback. So they want Trent. They want Reece James. They want Alphonso Davies on the other side. But what they want and what they get will be two different things. Trent ain't leaving Liverpool at this moment in time. Trent is not going to leave Liverpool for anybody now, because Trent's captain and waiting. So, no, I'm not worried about Trent leaving. I'm sure Madrid can want him and flirt with him, but he's not leaving Liverpool. What else is there here? Right. How are we? Okay, I told you to remind me of a story. I'm now going to give you the story. So, you're going to like this one. A report today claims that Liverpool are interested in a move for an attacking fullback by the name of Jeremy Frimpong. You guys have been asking me for a long time about Frimpong, and you guys have been shouting his name from the rooftops, but I've never had anything to pin down to give you guys optimism. But today, a report coming out suggests, and it comes from Depor, D-E-P-O-R, that Frimpong, previously of Manchester City and Celtic, is a target for Liverpool to bring in to, I don't know if it's to cover or to replace Trent and move Trent into midfield. I don't know. But we're linked with a move from, they talking about £35 million for the fee for Jeremy Frimpong. I did look through looked on Wikipedia and looked back through his career. Started out at Manchester City, spent I think a good time in Manchester City's youth product. Then, of course, went up to Celtic, is now plying his trade with Bayer Leverkusen under the tutelage of Xavi Alonso in the Bundesliga, Dutch international. And do you know what? That I learned today. I did not know he was a Dutch international, Frimpong. They're kind of spoiled, aren't they? Dumfries and Frimpong. So, yeah, this is a potential good bit of news. And as that money, at £35 million, if it's true and if Liverpool do push ahead to try and sign him, it would be very good value. So, I'm going to ask you guys, what do you think? Jeremy Frimpong, would you take him at Liverpool? I know he's a name that you've mentioned to me, and I'm always honest with you. If you guys say a name to me, I look into it, but I don't always come back to you with something because there might not be something there. But today, I see the report and I knew you guys would be happy with it. So I'm going to give you a few more bits of information on him. He is 22 years of age. He plays as a right wing back for Bayer Leverkusen. He has made 36 appearances for Celtic in his career with 3 goals. So far, Bayer Leverkusen, he's made 80 appearances. He's yet to... Oh, no, he scored 12. Sorry, 12 for Bayer Leverkusen. He's represented the Netherlands at under 19, under 20, under 21 and senior, having his first senior cap. He spent quite a while, I think 9 years, as a youth product at Manchester City. So he's certainly been about already in a relatively young career. Gone up to Celtic in 19 to 21, up there, as in 2019, 2021. Yeah. Does that mean Trent is moving into midfield? Well, probably, because you're not going to go out there to try and bring in Frimpong as an example if you're going to keep Trent at right back, because nobody's going to come in for that position. I don't see him as being a utility player. So I think if this is true, and I want to say a big if because it's one report, you'd have to imagine that Jurgen sees Trent's future in midfield. So yeah, Jeremy Frimpong. It's certainly an interesting one, and it's one that I knew you guys would be happy with because you've been mentioning his name for quite a while. Craig, hell yes, said T. Trent can defend. He makes plays, moves up. Yes, he can defend. So with Frimpong, right, if Liverpool bring in Frimpong, my concern for Trent is what midfield position does Jurgen maybe look to move him into? Because I've got to be honest with you, I don't see him as a natural number 6. I never see Trent as a natural number 6. He can defend, but not enough. I don't think he's got the defensive nous to play in the number 6 role in the way we think of a number 6. As a second number 6, yeah, we've seen that with his little hybrid role from right back inside. But I would suggest that if Jurgen sees Trent as a midfielder, I'm going to say we'd probably have to change system if you want to make him an out-and-out midfielder. Because I don't see Trent having a place in the current system where Klopp gets him central enough. Because I don't think he'd be suited to a Szoboszlai type position or a Gakpo type position in behind the attack. I think with Trent's attributes, you'd want him deeper. You'd want him spraying balls around from the centre of the park. So it's an interesting one. Maybe it all ties together. But I knew you'd like it because it's a name that we've mentioned quite a bit. Trent on the right wing, if Mo leaves. So there's very little to say no to Trent as a right winger. Honestly, I can't think of many attributes that he wouldn't be able to bring. Maybe lacking a small bit of pace if we want him to play that. But if you're talking about somebody who can invert, who can cut inside, even onto his bad foot, to his left foot, do I see a situation where Trent can play wide right? Well, I can see him whipping in balls and spraying passes from that position. I just don't think he has the pace for it. So again, I don't think it's a natural position for Trent. If you're talking about Trent, you'd maybe think of an old 4-4-2 style system with him in a David Beckham-esque right winger position, where you've got two older fashioned centre forwards and you're putting crosses in behind defenders. But not in the modern day. I don't know if it's the right fit for Trent. So why I keep getting confused about the urgency or the need and the want of people to get Trent out of this hybrid right back position. I think where he is right now gives us pretty much everything we need as long as we have the recovery pace and our right attacker, i.e. Mo in this situation, defends enough, which Mo does. You know, I don't see the problem with Trent where he is. Keep Trent as a hybrid or put him in midfield. So look, let me ask another one. Do you think there's any way the Frimpong would come in if he knew he was going to be competing or rotating with Trent? Because it's not like you're looking at, let's say Andy Robertson, use that as an example. If I'm a young left back and Liverpool are after me, I can see a situation where Andy Robertson has a couple of years to go maybe, and then I become a real challenger for him. I'm not going to see that with Trent, am I? Because Trent's nowhere near the age bracket where you're thinking about his best days being behind him. So that's what makes me weary of the links to the likes of Frimpong. I don't think it's time for a right-sided player. I think it's a left-sided fullback in that age bracket that we need right now. I think Trent would suit central attacking midfield. So we play with two in that position, and they're not central attacking midfielders really as such. They're two midfielders, one sitting on the left, one sitting on the right, just in behind the attackers. And Klopp wants to get them up and down the pitch, not in straight lines, but certainly in those half spaces. I don't see it with Trent. If you want the best out of Trent, I don't mean to use another NFL analogy, but a quarterback role is what you want Trent doing. You want them being able to spray those passes. Look, if you moved them up the pitch, he'd have less time on the ball, first and foremost. Less margin for error with those lovely raking passes diagonally. And you'd be looking for more finesse from Trent. And that's where you get your Szoboszlais, your McAllisters, your players who have a bit more guile and craft in enclosed spaces. And that, I don't think of Trent when I think of that style of player. 15 past, Craig. Literally just spent 10 minutes talking about the thing that I told you to remind me of, mate. I've literally been doing it. So that was the story. Like I told you when I said it. It's Frimpong. Can Frimpong play on the left? I don't know. All I can say to you is he is a right wing back in the Leverkusen system. I don't know if he can or can't play on the left. What was it? Tyler, I'm literally fucking talking about it, bro. I'm sitting here right now, spending 10 minutes talking about Frimpong, and you're saying to me, what was it? Dude, come on now. So, just for Tyler, because I want to be nice today. The story, Tyler, my friend, was that according to Depor, Liverpool are being linked with a move, a £35 million move for Bayer Leverkusen's Jeremy Frimpong. A player who started his career at Manchester City, 9 years there in the youth system, went to Celtic for 2 years and is now at Leverkusen and has also had his first international cap. So there you go, Tyler. That was the story, my friend. Tyler, I'm on. It's all right, dude. We're only having a laugh here, man. It's all good. So yeah, look, I want to kind of bring you guys back to the Andre situation for a minute, because I'm sorry to keep bringing this back up, but make it make sense to me. Please, somebody make this make sense. There's two things that we've been linked with in the last couple of days that have blown my mind. One, the story yesterday where I think it was Dave O.C. Kopp said that Liverpool are willing to trigger the release clause in Inacio's deal. So a player that we had the chance to sign and didn't, who has gone up in price, we suddenly want. A player who we spent months tracking but wasn't available, but is now available, we don't want. I don't get it. Are we a prick tease? Is that what's going on? Because this makes no sense to me. Andre's 30 million quid and he's available. Why aren't we following through? Why aren't we pulling the trigger on that? And if we buy Inacio, I swear to God, I'm going to explode. Because 20 million quid is 20 million quid. Whichever way you dress it up, it's 20 million quid. And why would you buy a player when you could have had him for 50% cheaper? I refuse to believe that Inacio's story is true. I just can't allow myself to believe it's true. Because surely we're not that stupid. Craig, does your gut feeling tell you we get Andre or we'll miss out on him? At this moment in time, I feel like the people who are saying we're not going to do January business are probably right. But I don't want them to be right. But that's definitely the vibe the club are giving out at the minute. And to me, that's unacceptable. Because Endo ain't it. He might be part of a cover, but he ain't it. He's not the solution. We haven't found a number 6 that suddenly made everything better. So I know we think short term as fans, and we do, and I definitely do. But how many times do we have to watch a season go past where we're not at our potential strongest for a solution to potentially be found in 6 months? That's another season gone. That's another season of Klopp gone. That's another chance to win 4 trophies maybe gone. And we're not putting our best foot forward. And that's what frustrates me. So if we don't sign Andre, we had better have something up our sleeve big for down the line. Like big. Because it makes no sense to me otherwise. Is there a chance we go back to Hincapié? Don't know. Honestly, don't know. The centre-back situation, I feel, will be resolved in the summer. And I've always said that to you guys. I feel like that's been the most likely situation all along. I never expected a January centre-back. And to be honest with you, I don't think we need one in January. Right now, we've got Van Dijk, Kanade, Gomez, Matip, and Kwanzaa. That's more than enough. At the end of the season, if the club decide not to extend Joel Matip, you free up an overseas place, you free up a squad place, you bring in a centre-back. That's fine. But we can't say the same about a holding midfielder now. We don't have 5 options to play in a holding midfield. We have one, what you would class as a DM in Endo, who were unsure of getting up to speed yet. And we have McAllister, who's shoehorned into the position. And it's costing us. It is. It's costing us. And why we would allow the season to go past without addressing that deficiency seems counterproductive. Curtis Jones maybe can be trained into the 6. Yeah, well, if you think about Curtis Jones' attributes, Jared, he doesn't look like a 6, does he? Like, everything about Curtis Jones is geared to the other end of the pitch. So rather than trying to shoehorn or make people into things, why don't we just go out and address the problem? Like, we wouldn't say that this would happen at Manchester City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, even United. If you've got a glaring deficiency in your squad and you go out there to make a signing, you sign the position you need. Look at Real Madrid's rebuild. They've got Bellingham. They've got Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Rodrigo, Vini Jr. Like, that's a new, developing, young, really, really good team. And you've got Modric and Kroos coming to the end of their time. You go out there and you get Jude Bellingham. That's what you do. You bring in the best for the position. We seem to be looking for clever solutions for some God knows what reason. Isti said, if we don't sign a 6 in January, we might as well sell Salah in January. No point in waiting until the summer. Look, we can still win stuff this season without a number 6. But it's less likely. And that's the part I don't get. Nothing is going to guarantee you success. Nothing. But you can do what you can to give yourself the best opportunity. And I don't feel like we're doing that. Again. Ugarte hasn't played all that good for PSG. For him, stupid move. Why would you go to PSG? Why? Money. And that's it. Like, whatever anybody says, you go there. If you're French, maybe you've got another reason. But if you're Ugarte, you don't go there for anything other than money. You're not winning the Champions League. Who gives a shit about the French league? You're probably going to win that every year, but nobody cares, let's be honest. So, it's just money. We can win trophies even if we don't sign a 6, but if we want to win the Premier League, we need a 6. I agree, Dania. You're like, I'm not pushing back against the idea of a number 6. I agree, but I just don't understand why you take unnecessary risks when you can mitigate those risks for a reasonable amount of money. Like, we didn't qualify for the Champions League last year. What was the cost to the club not qualifying to the Champions League? I would imagine 50 million is probably me being generous to say we lost out on only 50 million. Probably a lot more, because Liverpool tend to get out of the group stage and go a bit deeper in the Champions League. So, not bringing in a player, i.e. a midfielder, cost us 50 million quid. Now, if we had have brought in that midfielder, we, yes, would have spent money, but we would have had more chance of glory and not lost the money. This season, okay, we're sitting in a pretty good position in the league. The likelihood of us missing out on Champions League is probably minuscule, but it's about ambition for me at this point. If you're FSG, do you want to be in the Champions League? Or do you want to win the Champions League? Do you want to be in the top 4 in the Premier League, or do you want to win the Premier League? I know which one we want as fans. We want to win it. We want to see, in this instance, Virgil van Dijk lifting a trophy above his head. Not, well, we did make, but at least we have Champions League money. That's secondary to us fans. It's about glory. It's about trophies. It's about winning. Jason, thank you, my friend. Said, another good show. What's your thoughts on Mickey van de Ven at left back? He feels like one we missed, Jason. I've got to say, mate, from his start at Spurs, seeing him being able to play on the left side of a back three or as a left back, I think we shit the bed on that one. You know, because you know yourself, mate, we were strongly linked with him. I've got to say, he's impressed me. I know he's injured at the minute, but I think he's had a very good start to his Spurs career, and feels unfortunate that we didn't make that one happen. Ishti said, we also want Mbappe to see we're committed to win. Look, I said this to Connor earlier on today. I'm deluded. I'm holding my hands up, because I won't lie to you. In my head, Mbappe seems more likely than not likely now. In my head. I'm not saying that's reality. I got to be clear about that. But it's very easy for me to start joining these dots and say, Salah might be leaving, wages freed up, who could replace Salah superstar-wise? Or Barcelona come in for Diaz. Do Liverpool sell Diaz, use that money to fund a few years of Mbappe? There's one thing I can't get away from. And whether you think Liverpool will pay the money to secure Kylian Mbappe or not, imagine this for a second. We lose Diaz, but you have Mbappe and you have Salah. A club that actually wants to win would say, let's give Mo 2 more years and let's bring in Mbappe and let's roll the motherfucking dice on a dynasty. And that changes the complexion of Liverpool Football Club for the next 15 years, because that's a statement. And it's a statement with one player we already have, who's a Liverpool player in Mo. So he's already here. Then you have the opportunity to bring in probably the best player in world football for free. Yes, ludicrous wages, I know. But if you can underwrite some of that with a transfer fee for somebody, you're getting somebody who's 24 now. He's going to be 25, coming into the peak of his career. Imagine having Darwin through the middle, Mohamed Salah on the right, and Mbappe on the left. Even for 2 years. And the only part of that we don't have is the Mbappe part. So, in my head, I'm thinking, are the club being cautious? Are the club saving money? Does the club have something that we don't know about working on here? Is there a reason we're not in for number 6? Is there a reason Mo's not getting a contract extension yet? Like, what a statement that would be for everyone, you know? Not only are we going to bring in Kylian Mbappe, but we're going to make Mo know that he's going to be part of the most potent attacking team in world football. Because I'll tell you what, Real Madrid can have their Vinicius Juniors, their Endrick, their Rodrigo and their Bellingham. I'll take a Kylian Mbappe, a Darwin Núñez and a Mohamed Salah with Dominic Szoboszlai in behind any day of the week. And it's doable. That's the thing, lads. It's doable. You said Mbappe 900k a week. Right, let me make that number work for you. So, we sell Diaz, just in this situation, for 70 million quid. And you get that 70 million quid and you spread it over. No, actually, you know what? You get that 70 million quid and you give it to Mbappe. There's your signing on bonus. There's your 70 million quid. Now it's about making the numbers work. So, you get him a wage of, let's say, 350, 400 grand basic. You get Nike involved. You give him a cut of shirt sales. You've got the image rights. it is possible to get to that £1,000,000 a week mark. And then you say to Mbappe, Mohamed Salah has a year or two. When Mohamed Salah moves on, you could back end a lot of Kylian Mbappe's contract. That as he gets to the third, fourth, fifth year of his contract, and let's say Mo's gone at that point, then you can take Mo's money and move it across. And you can structure his contract in a way that the bulk of the heavy lifting is done at the back end of the contract. It's happened before. So, as I said, I'm deluded. I know. But I can't get away from that. I cannot let that out of my head at the minute. Any news on Andre? Yes, the news on Andre tonight was not a great bit of news for us. It's been reported that Fulham are close to agreeing a deal to sign him from Fluminense. So, I hope it, we all hope it isn't true, because it will be very confusing for us all again to see Liverpool not fill a position we need, but I can only tell you what's being reported. Do you think we'll get Andre and Nico Williams in January? No to both. Nico Williams is gettable in the summer. His contract is up at Bilbao. And if he went to a club outside of Spain, I think the compensation cost to Bilbao would be minimal, about 250,000, 300,000 euro, I think. So it is doable. Somebody will get Nico Williams. If he goes to a club in Spain, and I'm open to be corrected on this, by the way, because I don't know this as a fact. I'm kind of assuming something here. But in England, if you train a player and a player comes through your academy system and leaves for another English club on a free, you've got to come to a compensation fee, or you go to a tribunal like we did with Danny Ings. So I'm assuming there's a similar system in Spain, that if Barcelona, let's say, wanted to sign Nico Williams after his contract with Bilbao expired, I presume there'd have to be a similar type of thing. But to get back to the other situation, if Danny Ings, let's say, in that scenario, had have gone to Germany, then his club would have only got about, I think, £250,000. So if you stay in the same league, compensation has to be agreed, and it tends to be a lot higher. But if you go overseas, there seems to be a set amount. So I don't know if that's the same in Spain. I don't know the ins and outs of Spanish football enough to know that situation. Not going to lie, I'm boarding the Mbappe hype train now. It's plenty of room, mate. Come on board. It's a solar, green-powered energy train. We're going to do it together, mate. Chew, mother, bleeping, chew. Don't really like Andre. Sounds weird, but he loves the yellow. He definitely loves the yellow, Zakir. I mean, I feel like every time I've looked on LiveScore or tuned into one of his games, there's a yellow. He does love a yellow, mate. I can't argue with you on that one. Even though Klopp is one of a kind, he deserves a well-earned break. I can't push back on that either. I've said this numerous times. I don't know if it's just England. I feel it is. Look at managers and how quickly they age when they come to England. I mean, look at Mourinho. Look at how quickly he went from the young, fresh-faced Mourinho to the stressed-looking, grey-haired Mourinho. Klopp, again. Pep, again. It takes its toll. It's all-encompassing. And I can imagine the stress on anybody in that high-profile job. So, a break, I get it. I could understand. I couldn't hate on Klopp at all if he wanted a break. But once somebody has a break, they're not likely to come back, right? Because you're not going to bring somebody in for a year while your manager has a break. Nothing about that works. So yeah, look, I wouldn't hold it against him either, mate. It's a very all-encompassing job, definitely. Do you think McAllister is a flop? Absolutely not. How could we say that? If you phrase the question differently, I might give you a different answer. Do I think he's lived up to what we expected? No. But how much of that's on him? And how much of that's on the position he's been asked to play? Because he's not been playing in the role that he played in Brighton. So I wouldn't call him a flop at all, no. But I wouldn't say it's been a raging success either. I would say it's still to be determined. What other CDMs are there? So, there was a story today that said Borussia Mönchengladbach are already looking for a replacement for Manu Kone. Now, I don't know if that's anything to do with us, because we weren't mentioned in the story other than we were interested in him previously. But it seems to be that they're expecting him to move in January. So whether that's, if we're back in that conversation, I have no idea. Adam Canu gifted 5 Anfield Agenda memberships. Absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much. So, I don't know if I said this to you guys or not, but I've instructed my manager. That sounds a bit weird, doesn't it? I've instructed my manager. I've asked my manager to look for 5 venues for the summer for shows in the UK. I think I said it to you guys yesterday. So yeah, we're trying to find the right venues so we can do 4 or 5 shows in the summer in the UK, because I want to go out and say hello to everybody and thank you all and meet you and shake your hands and take photos with you all and just really reaffirm how grateful I am for all of the support. So hopefully I'll be able to have some news on that over the coming month or so and give you guys some more confirmed dates and stuff like that. Off the top of my head, Cardiff, Liverpool, London, Glasgow, maybe somewhere around the Midlands. But we're trying our best to find the venues at the minute. And I think it makes sense to do it in the summertime, maybe June, something like that. I'd love you to consider Wolverhampton. Midlands is definitely something I'm thinking about, Arian. I feel like I need to do Liverpool. I feel like I've unfinished business in a good way with the city of Liverpool. So I feel like I need to do Liverpool. London seems like a no-brainer. Glasgow, yeah. Cardiff, yeah. So, yeah, leave it with me. And as soon as I have anything semi-confirmed, of course, I'll let you know. And I'm needing you guys to show up here. Because it's all very well and good saying, Craig, do this, that, and the other. But hopefully you guys show up and come, and we've some... I'm going to have some guests for each show as well. I'm already working on that in the background. Would you say that Matip is our first choice partner for Van Dijk right now? It's a fair question, Stephen. I think, let me put it to you this way. I want him to play alongside Van Dijk for the Man City game. Because I feel at this moment in time, he's a little bit less rash than Konate. I think Konate will be incredible for us and has been. Touch and go. Depends on the opposition, I think, to answer your question about who's the partner. But I'd be very surprised if we don't see Joel Matip play against Manchester City alongside Van Dijk. Any shows coming up in Ireland? Nope. No. I don't plan to do any either, to be honest. Not anytime soon. Belfast, perhaps, but Dublin, Ireland, I think we're done for the minute. Boston, March, that's in the books, and then we're hoping to do 3 or 4 in the summer. Bring Adam. He will be if I do a show in Liverpool, Adam will be there. It will be more like an Anfield Agenda / top of the league show if we do it in Liverpool. I'm working on something really big for London, and so leave that one with me. I'm working on a really big guest for London. Would you mind doing it in June or August as I have family holidays in July? It would most likely be June, Rory. So July and August, transfer window, season starting, channels busier. June, when the players and the staff of Liverpool are on their holidays, seems like the most likely time. Favourite vampire movie? I don't know if I've ever watched a vampire movie. I haven't even seen an interview with a vampire. It's just not my genre of TV or movies, really. What else we got? Would you say Kefren Thuram is a good option? No, I wouldn't. I think once we sign McAllister and Szoboszlai, Kefren Thuram didn't really make as much sense because he's more of a number 8. You know, he's more of a box-to-box type midfielder. I don't think that's what we need now. I'm not saying Kone is better than Thuram, but he's a better fit for the style we need. So, yeah, I don't expect us to go back in for Kefren Thuram. I might make a bold prediction here, though. If Radcliffe finishes his semi-takeover of Manchester United, I can see a world where they look at Kefren Thuram down the line. I like it. I had to read that. He said, I like your tats. I read that very differently. I think you can probably guess. Have you not watched Lost Boys? Nope. I have not. Any chance you'll eat a cabbage in the live show? That's no way to talk about the audience, dude. Come on now. Our audience might not always be the brightest, but I wouldn't be calling them cabbages. But in answer to your question, in all seriousness, I'd rather put the cabbage internally than eat it, because it doesn't appeal to me. Just feels like wet green. Cabbages, lettuce, it's just wet green. I might as well go out there and lick a leaf from a bush. Cake or ice cream? Cake! Come on now. Cake. Cake all the way. I'm definitely team cake. So, do I stay on for another 20 minutes or do we call it a night? It's your choice. Let me know. Did you not see Underworld? No. It's not my genre of films. Like vampires, horror, even like the likes of sci-fi and stuff, or superheroes. It doesn't do it for me. It's not my cup of tea at all. Those City Extra lads who streamed earlier are being so petty. So, I don't know City Extra. I've heard of the channel, but the only Manchester City fan that I've ever really gotten to know a little bit really is Stephen McInerney of Esteemed Company, who I hold in very high esteem. He's a nice lad, Stephen. He knows his football very well. Very down to earth guy, and look, obviously defends Manchester City's standpoint, but he is a Man City fan. I don't know anything about City Extra though. I don't pay much attention to what they do or don't do. Jared said if we can get a top recognised number 6 with Bajcetic, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai and Jones, would give us a world class midfield. Yes sir, absolutely. We're not far away. Like, the rebuild's been exceptionally good. They did dig deep for Caicedo, yeah, and that shocked me and still shocks me now. But you know what else it does, Druva? They can't cry poor mouth anymore, FSG. You know, we can't hear we don't have the money, because we know we had the money, right? And we only spent, Gravenberch and Endo. So we know there's still at least, 60 million there if we're pretending that Kitty was available. Benjamin said in the chat, Craig, what's the update in Klopp's contract? So Empire of the Cop, and this is where we see it. They posted via at Steve K9KS1TV, who works for transfers.com. They say Liverpool are planning to offer Jurgen Klopp a 4th contract extension. The club is also hoping to get Virgil van Dijk to commit to a new deal. So, I hope to God it's true. Because it would make me extremely happy for the gaffer to sign a new deal. I know we've got 2 years to go with Jurgs after this season, but I wouldn't say no to 2 more. Where's the money, John? Absolutely. So I'm going to Boston in March. You can expect a Where's John video, because Craig's going to be looking for John. I'm going to be looking everywhere. Fenway, John. Bathrooms at the airport, John. Middle of Boston, John. If I find him, I'll let you know. Maybe he'll invite me round for tea. They were never in for Caicedo. John was just flexing. Oh no, we very much were. Yeah, no, we very, very much were in for Caicedo, mate. He's next to Waldo. Maybe I can dress up in a Waldo kind of jumper, going around reverse Waldo the situation. Where's John? Just get a megaphone. Oh, Ian, you've got no idea what my poor wife is going to be put through. Connor, Connor's partner Katie, and my wife, they've no idea the levels of embarrassment they're going to suffer when we're in Boston. Because I will stand at the top of a double-decker bus tour around the city, shouting at the top of my lungs, John! I don't do embarrassed. Doesn't happen. Don't feel it. So expect some fun videos. Do you think Carvalho's finished at Liverpool? And yes, I do. I'll never kind of figure out how it all went wrong, John, or what happened. Because he didn't really get much of a look in, did he, at Liverpool? Like, it's not like we can say he played 30 games and stunk the place up. We've seen some fairly promising cameos. It's one of those where I truly don't I expect something will come out down the line, because it feels like something happened, and I don't want to second guess and say what it is, because I don't know, but it's a weird one, because it very quickly became apparent he wasn't going to get the opportunity. Just saw on X a clip of Mbappe and Tsimikas talking. Well, I'm not going to say anything other than if you knew we wouldn't win another cup under Klopp if he signed a new contract, but you enjoyed watching us play like we have, would you want him to sign? That's a difficult question. So I need clarity on your question. So you said if Klopp signed a new contract and we wouldn't win a trophy, does that start from the extension? So if Klopp signed a contract tomorrow, are we talking from that point on, or for the extended part? Because I've got to be honest with you, I don't think I'd sign up for no more trophies guaranteed for the next 4.5 years, regardless of the manager. Because Liverpool Football Club exists to win trophies at the end of the day. So, I slept with your wife. Mate, my wife would snap you like a fucking twig. Trust me on that, dude. My wife would. I mean, trust me, mate. I know her quite well. You wouldn't be able for her. She's used to real men, not lads that hide behind fake profiles on YouTube accounts. You probably thought you were going to wind me up with that one and make me angry, right? But it's so pathetic that all I can do is laugh at you, dude. Because, as I said, she'd snap you like a fucking twig. She's rather rough in that department. But, look, my trust levels with my wife are impeccable, mate. I don't trust any human being on this planet more than I trust my wife. So, have at it. Work away. Film it the next time and send it to me. Let me know how you get on. Because maybe I can pick up a few pointers of what I'm doing wrong. But, yeah. You be you, mate. And, I don't even know where to go with it, mate. It's like the worst attempted bit of trolling ever. You don't even know what my wife looks like. So, best of luck on that one, fella. As I said, film it next time and let me know. What else we got? Please let this happen. As much as I've no faith in PSG doing, or FSG, I think you meant to say, doing the right thing, this would be a step in the right direction. Would you sell Diaz? Well, I wouldn't be actively looking to sell him, no. But if he doesn't want to be here, like anybody else, and I mean anybody else, yes. If you don't want to be here, no problem. Facilitate the move away. But I wouldn't be actively looking to sell Lucho. No, not at all. I enjoy watching Lucho play. That was a 6-year-old behind the phone. Oh, he absolutely thought he was going to make me angry. But the thing is, for you to make me angry with something, it has to be something that provokes an emotion in me. And there's no part of me that ever believes my wife would ever cheat. Ever. She doesn't even have thought I'd entertain. So, yeah, that's not going to be it, mate. You're going to have to try again. Has Diaz said anything about what his dad has said? Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of. No, Benjamin. I'm not going down the Henderson conversation again. Every time I bring up Henderson, people get angry at me. So, you know my take on Henderson. I'm not going back over it. Everybody has their own views on it. It's an emotive topic. I understand that, and I respect other people's views on it. But I don't want to go back down that again. Henderson's past tense. Which Liverpool players would you consider world class? Alisson, Van Dijk, Salah, Szoboszlai. Trent. Yeah. Because, I mean, what is world class at the end of the day? I like to think of it as the tippity top, the elite, the very, very creme de la creme would get into most teams. And Trent, Druvat says Hendo legend. I'm trying, mate. I'm fucking biting my lip not to respond to that. I'm going to leave it go. I'm going to leave it go because I've had my say on Henderson enough. I disagree. So yeah, it depends what you ask and what you think is world class, you know. I view it as somebody who walks into most teams in the world. I think I missed Jack's super chat. Sorry if I did. Let me scroll back up. Heavy Metal D, I've done that one. Jack, yes, I did. No signs at all of Bajcetic returning is worrying, said Jack. It is, mate. And, you know, if there's one thing we can perhaps be critical of Liverpool on, is they're not great at keeping us up to date with what's happening with players. So, if my memory's right, and again, it could be wrong, I feel like we were told this was a short-term thing a while ago. A calf injury. And I've looked, and I've looked, and I've looked, and I found an interview with him where he spoke a little bit about his frustration. But I've not really, even reading other people's content and articles, I've not really been able to find an in-depth answer to the Bajcetic situation. So it is worrying, Jack. I think it's a very fair point, mate. My friends are being rude and saying Salah's overrated. Get better friends. I don't know what to say to you, mate. Do I think Jurgen should stay? Oh, God, yes. Yes. Jurgen, I'm of the point with, like, as long as Jurgen wants to be Liverpool manager, Jurgen gets to be Liverpool manager. That's, last season was a terrible season. And it was so, do you know what? It was refreshing in one sense to see that everybody knew last season was shit. But everybody also knew that Jurgen's deserved grace period of having a shit year. Having one off season while we start this rebuild, I think we're all in agreement that he's more than earned the right to have had a shit season. But it shows the class of the man that he's come back this year and has started to build this new team. And we're already, I think we're ahead of track, to be honest with you, with how well the team's integrating. So, Klopp, he's a legend for me. And I didn't really think that ever be a Liverpool manager above Rafael Benitez for me, because I loved Rafa. But Jurgen is, he's amazing. Hendo spreading the love of football. I know, 600 people at a time. Yeah, he's fighting the good fight and doing it the hard way. He could be there spreading the love of football in full stadiums of 40 or 50,000 people, but he chose to take the more complicated, difficult route of doing it to 600 fans at a time, and you got to respect that. Last season was really poor. Even the COVID season was understandable as we had no centre-backs and lots of injuries. This season we had most of our squad and we were Last season, most of us got we were a joke. Yeah, but we knew we needed midfielder. So we had bodies in midfield last season, but nobody that was able to fulfill the roles that we need. They're all exhausted, worn out, done. Too many aging players in that midfield. And Jurgen Klopp demands a lot of his players, as we know. So that's why it was so clear we needed a refresh and we needed fresher legs there. But look, if you want to take a positive from last season, and there's not many, we got by Cecic. We got to see his development. We got to know quicker than maybe we probably would have that we've got a very serious footballer on our hands in Stefan Bajcetic. So there is that. That's the only real positive, I guess, we can take from last season. I know people ask me about Soboslai's goal. I still haven't seen it because I'm not on social media, so I haven't seen a clip anywhere of the goal yet. I heard it was a worldie, though. Start, bench, sell, Diaz, Rashford, Foden. Sell Rashford, bench Diaz, start Foden. I rate Foden highly. As a footballer, Phil Foden I do really rate as a player. So yeah, I would sell Rashford, bench Diaz, and start Foden. Maybe this season we'll get an 8-0 against United instead of a 7-0. Yeah, well, we can but hope, mate. Yeah, it'll be interesting, that game. Craig, you asked my opinion, I gave it. I'm not saying it's right, wrong, but it's my opinion. Rashford is too inconsistent for me. Diaz, I mean, it's been up and down. You know, he's had some really good times, then he's had some injuries, and he's had some I won't say average, but decent times. I just really, I'm a big fan of anybody who can play between the lines like David Silva. He's one of my favourite ever footballers. And to see Phil Foden come in to not replicate, but take that role, you gotta give the dude credit. Like, he's an incredibly gifted footballer. For somebody so slight of frame and stature, he's very good. He's very good. Who would you pick, Torres or Suarez? Suarez, every day of the week, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't even know how that's a debate. Fernando Torres was brilliant at Liverpool. I'll never forget his first game against Chelsea. Goal, boom. What a way to announce yourself. But I don't care how long I support Liverpool. I will struggle to ever admit that there's a more well-rounded, more skillful player than Suarez. He was... Look, Salah's better. Salah's been more consistent. Salah's done it in a longer time. Salah is above Suarez in the rankings. But Luis Suarez, the two have had the pleasure to watch that man in a Liverpool shirt. Some special moments with Luis Suarez. We would suck if we kept Hendo. Love you, enjoy, said Colin. Thank you. Again, I don't want to go down the Hendo conversation because it's past tense. But, you know, we needed the refresh in midfield. We needed the legs. We needed the youthful injection in midfield. Greatest African player, Mohamed Salah. Not even a debate, I don't think, anymore. Surely not. Like, I know people say Samuel Eto'o or Didier Drogba had a great time as well. Of course. You've got Yaya and Kolo. But honestly, I think when all is said and done, I think Mohamed Salah is the greatest ever African football player. Maybe I'm biased, don't care. I still think it's the right answer. Who do you think will come out on top for the Golden Boot? Haaland. I think he'll go through patches of scoring 3-4 against weaker teams. So yeah, I think Haaland. Are Liverpool getting the number 6 in January? Doesn't look like it. The reports today coming out from a journalist called George Nicola, who works for... he's got his own YouTube channel. He's got a blog, does stuff with Paramount Plus, has over 380,000 followers on X. He reckons that a deal for him, Andre, to Fulham will be announced in a few weeks. George Weah was brilliant, but very short spell, you know. At Liberia, am I right for George Weah? Didn't really do it on a long enough consistent basis. For me. Suarez is by far better than Salah. He is, but he doesn't have the longevity of work at Liverpool to put him above Salah in the pecking order. But he's a better player. 100%. Outside of Steven Gerrard, Luis Suarez is the greatest football player I've seen put on a football shirt for Liverpool. He's outstanding. But Salah has earned his right from, you know, consistency of end product, availability, robustness, loyalty to the football club. You ain't won zilch until you've done it in the Prem. I agree. Right, I'm going to call it a night. We've had a good long stream tonight, 90 minutes. So appreciate all you guys coming in. Tomorrow I'm off because I've got to get some medical checkups and a few bits done. So I won't be on tomorrow. But I will be back on Wednesday. And we'll be looking ahead then to the weekend, talking about the Manchester City game. And hopefully we can know at that point that none of our boys have picked up an injury on international duty. So lots of love to you all. To the dude who mentioned my wife earlier on, you best pray we never come across each other, mate. And it's not me you need to worry about. As I've told you, she'll break you in half. But to the rest of you, much love. Thank you for being in. And thank you for continuously supporting the channel. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.